We all have bad days. When normal people hit rock bottom, they cope, they go to therapy, drink cheap whiskey or blame the economy. But in 1971, a 22-year-old prison inmate named Gerald Mayo decided that coping was for amateurs. He bypassed all earthly accountability and went straight to the cosmic complaint department. He didn't pray and he didn't hire an exorcist. Gerald Mayo walked into a federal courthouse in Pennsylvania and filed a civil rights lawsuit against the devil. And because he appreciated a corporate hierarchy, he also sued his staff. Welcome to the litigious void. You don't just tell a federal clerk the devil did it. You have to translate a spiritual grievance into cold, soul-crushing legalese. Mayo accused Satan of structural sabotage, claiming that the devil was actively and maliciously violating his constitutional rights by orchestrating his downfall. But the peak of this dark comedy was naming Satan's staff as co-defendants. Mayo legally asserted that hell operates like a mid-sized corporate logistical firm, complete with shift supervisors of misery and an HR department for torment. He threw a philosophical grenade into the machine, demanding that a human judge hit eternal damnation with a restraining order. The paperwork landed on the desk of U.S. District Judge Gerald J. Weber. Instead of throwing it into the trash, Weber chose the driest, most hilariously deadpan judicial violence possible. He wrote an official, published legal opinion. He analyzed previous cases, noting with surgical sarcasm that only reported trial involving Satan was an unofficial short story, but Weber couldn't just say Satan isn't real, just because a federal court ruling on the existence of the devil would violate the separation of church and state. The US government cannot establish a state theology. He needed a bureaucratic checkmate, and he found it in Rule 4 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Service of Process. To sue someone, you have to physically deliver the lawsuit. You have to look them in the eye and say, "You've been served." Judge Weber noted that Mayo failed to provide the court with the defendant's current address. Where do you send a US Marshal to find a Prince of Darkness? Is hell a suburb of Philadelphia? The government drew the line at paying the federal agent mileage for a trip into the lake of fire. The case was dismissed, not because the devil wasn't real, but because Mayo failed to provide an infernal zip code. The case is the ultimate masterclass in the absurdity void. It proves humans will invent a vast cosmic conspiracy when filing fees, just to avoid accepting that life is inexplicably unfair.